Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of the CantinaMX podcast, the Gold Cup edition of the CantinaMX podcast. My name is John Jagu. Very happy to have you with us. So we are live in our special in-game broadcast of the CantinaMX podcast as we have Mexico playing Canada tonight from the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. The game is going to get started here in about 10 minutes between Mexico and Canada. Mexico, with the win, will qualify for the second round of the Gold Cup and would almost assure itself of a first place position in Group A. The game earlier, last I checked, it was 2-0 Martinique. I'm not sure if that score stood or not, because frankly, I'm watching the Argentina-Paraguay match, which is a little bit more interesting. 3-0 it ended. 3-0 Martinique wins over Cuba. So they are currently tied with Canada in second place in Group A. A lot to get to before the game starts here on the CantinaMX podcast, as I'm turning the wrong knobs. But before we do any of that, what we need to do is introduce our panel. I have a couple of guys joining us now. I'm sure I'll have a couple of guys join us as the game starts. I am outnumbered right now. I have a couple of Calis. I got both the northern and the southern flank represented. We have in Irvine, California, Joel Aceves joins us. Joel, ¿qué onda?
Greetings, John. Glad to be back at the Cantina.
Now, Joel, you were in Pasadena last week. I'll be in Charlotte next week. I think we'll have Chiquis is going to go to Houston, if I'm not mistaken, for the for one of the rounds of the knockouts. So the Cantina will be live at the.
And if Mexico makes the semis, I'll be going to Phoenix.
To Phoenix, that's right. And Joel, I know that you're a very pragmatic Chivas fan, almost stoic in your sensibilities. Chivas made a big signing, Joel. They see like once again they can only sign a former player at this time, Uribe Peralta, who is in his mid-50s, playing in his 30th year of Liga MX. And Joel, I'm not going to ask you what do you make of the signing. I'm going to ask you what do you make of the reaction to the signing.
The reaction of the Chiva fans?
Yes.
I think, and I'm going off of social media, I think a lot of it is exaggerated because now you're looking for that meme, you're looking for that funny gif, and it's sort of like validation. So to me, it's a bit of fake outrage because if you've been following Chivas long enough, this is not new. You know, you should have been mad when Higuera took over. I mean, that's a hardcore America fan that has the keys to the Chiva kingdom. And if you didn't care,
it from within.
And you didn't care when they made him the head honcho. You didn't care when he sacked the De La Torres, whose family have been involved with Chivas for 80 years.
Institutions.
Yeah, he just pissed all over that, and the fans, they didn't care. They were happy.
Like the stale tamales from.
He brought.
Ya empezamos con cosas tristes. No manches.
No, but it's true. It's true. The fans were like, he didn't really care. Now it's like all of a sudden they care, and I now think I think they vilify him more than he deserves. Higuera, which sounds like I'm defending him, but he has me blocked. I can't read his tweets. But I do, because he's done some positives. He did bring Pizarro, even though the club sold him. He did bring Mati. He brought a lot of those players that when Chivas won those 5 championships, he had a hand in that. You know, so I just feel some of it's a little bit exaggerated. We've seen former Americanistas wearing the Chiva jersey, be it Hermosillo or Peláez or Luis Garcia.
Can we say that this officially makes the rivalry dead at this point? There's no fire between sides. We're exchanging players like it's no big deal. Ya no pesa
But
la,
it
la
has
camiseta.
It has happened before, as Joel just pointed. Jaime
It
Landeros
has.
joins us from Northern California. How are you doing, Jaime?
I'm doing good. I'll be better.
You were one of the angry Chivas fans when it comes to this deal.
It's just it's to me it's just embarrassing for this to happen. You know, they're making it like it's not a big deal. Like, you know, he didn't play for America for, you know, what, 5 years.
Now is it Nat King Cole embarrassing?
Guadalajara.
Or is it Elvis embarrassing? Or I mean, is it like goat scream embarrassing?
The only thing that I guess is not too bad is, you know, Chivas didn't pay for a transfer fee. That would have been pushing the, you know.
Right. Now
But
let's take Oribe is not like a diehard Americanista. Remember, he came, he's a Santos guy.
He even admitted it while at America.
Yeah, I mean that is his team. He is a Santos guy, and outside of Chicharito, I mean, I can't think of a better pro. I mean, especially at that position in Mexican soccer, and on top of that, the fact that when Ana Pulido is begging his team to say we need to find a leader, and his team is like, dude, it's supposed to be you. Now you're bringing in a guy that can stable. I mean, Chivas is a good team. They just have no direction. They have no compass. They don't have a center. They have a center now with Oribe Peralta. And I think Chivas with Boy and Peralta. I think Chivas fans need to pump the brakes a little bit on the Thelman Luis driving off the cliff.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just weird to see that transfer from like a straight transfer with no teams in between.
It's not as if you're asking him to start and play every game. I mean, he's a guy that honestly,
aren't those the expectations though? You're coming in, they need a guy, they need a leader, they need someone that's gonna, put this team back up. So for him, I think the expectation is he starts, right?
Why? He hasn't started for 2 years. Why on earth would that be the expectation? To me, the expectation is he stabilizes the locker room, brings a little accountability to the players that frankly desperately need it. And when you need a goal, I mean, who seriously, as a Chivas fan, who would you rather call off the bench, Oribe or Madrigal?
I'd rather have JJ Mack and Saldivar back.
They're not options right now. So
I mean, they can be. They just gotta terminate a loan
but they're not
prematurely.
No, they can't. You can't terminate the loan like that.
So
you would have to probably pay some.
I mean, with enough money, the money that they're paying Peralta, they could use that to
as my dad would say, a situation like this. Well, if your uncle had tits, he'd be your aunt. So, let's talk about things that are actually happening.
Oh man, I mean, I don't know. It's just it's not okay right now. I once he starts scoring goals for us, maybe we can make amends. But as of right now, I don't want him on my team. I don't want him wearing the jersey. He's scored plenty. He's scored plenty of goals against us. So
he's
it's like
a legend. He is a
he's not a legend for Chivas.
Who cares?
It's another Carlos Amorcillo. It's another one of those situations. Luis Garcia.
Did you stop watching? Did you stop watching back then?
Would you turn the TV off when they would step on the field? I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah, I'm taking this season off until he leaves the team. And
I mean, that season we sold Ramon Ramirez to.
Did you do what Joel did at the beginning of the Apertura last year? When after was it Jornada dos, Joel? You suggested all Chivas fans to go on loan to other teams because Chivas weren't going to do anything.
Well, I didn't say exactly like that, but yeah.
Well, see, I remember things very differently. Just like I remember, Joel, the conversation we had a couple weeks ago where we both decided that Mexico's decade of disappointment was due mostly in part to the early decisions that Nestor de la Torre and and the direction that the team.
Now you're reaching yon. No.
So I guess we remember things differently. I guess.
Yes, very, very differently.
All right.
Very differently. But I want to just make another point on this because, and I'm sure Jaime, you've seen this too, where you have a lot of Chiva fans that as soon as some talented player comes up, they're already saying he should leave to Europe. So you can't have it both ways. You can't send your talent away as soon as it pops up, and then not want the team to look. Because I mean, Peralta's also a reflection of the lack of strikers in Liga MX. There's just not that many. Like if top
So,
to bottom, there's not.
so Joel, let me ask you this: you talk about players going Europe. So around 2010, when Chicharito was at Chivas, and he has that incredible start for that season, the world right before the World Cup, where he is as hot a striker as Mexico's had going into any World Cup in who knows how long, just incandescently hot.
He was on fire.
And so you're thinking, man, we got Chicharito going. We're going to play in. We're already in the knockouts of the Libertadores. Like we're in that. I mean, you have to be. I would assume, Joel, that at that time, I mean, you as a Chivas fan, I mean, it was just. And then they announced the Manchester United signing.
I
And
mean,
it all came crashing.
we went to a Copa Libertadores final and we weren't even able to use him. So but it was Manchester United knocking at the door. What are you gonna do? You gotta spread your legs for Manchester United.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to Manchester United to understand that you're playing the. I mean, it seems like they would want a player to play a Libertadores final just to give them that kind of exposure.
Yeah.
But it did not happen for
Well, you know what?
They've been
I wasn't upset that they sold him as much as like when they sold him. They could have waited till he finished,
Yeah.
that game, and the fact that he's playing MLS All Star match
He scored a goal.
instead of a Libertadores final is pretty upsetting.
Mm-hmm. But he had to be part of that preseason, right? Or else he wouldn't have had the season that he did. So it's like you can't go back and say, oh, this should have changed. But it does hurt to see a player like Ulises Davila now going full circle, returning to Chivas after the way
Uribe is returning. Pablo Alanis is returning.
I know. Toño Rodriguez.
When are they going to announce the re-signing of Ramosito?
I'm waiting for Ramon. I'm waiting for my Bravo. I'm waiting for. Let's just bring back the old guys.
What about Chava Reyes? Is he coming back?
Oh,
I mean, you already have
R.I.P.
What about El Jamaicón? Is he coming back?
I don't know who could come back and save Chivas right now, but it's definitely not Bofo tweeting all day.
What about Misael Espinosa? Who had better hair than Misael Espinosa? I mean, it was like barely there. The dude was 100% on board with going bald, like the natural way. Just let
Wayne
it happen.
Rooney. Look at Wayne Rooney.
Just let it happen. Just let it happen.
So did the Mexico game kick off yet, or?
No, we are still we are commercialing. We're still commercial.
What do you think of the lineup? Do people know the lineup yet?
Well, it's almost the same as it was in the game against Cuba. The goalie's the same. The forwards are the same. The defenders are the same except for one. Diego Reyes is on the back line. First I said it, but the midfield is totally different.
So we got Ochoa in the goalkeeping position, Chaca Rodriguez, Diego Reyes, Araujo, Gallardo, Edson Alvarez, Johnny Two Saints. Is it Eric Gutierrez in there?
Yeah, so the midfield is completely different.
Oh wow!
So yeah, but Edson Alvarez, Guti, and Yona, and then like I said, the strikers or the forwards are the same.
Antuna gonna go for another hat trick or what?
It's gonna be interesting. I know the Canada's they've made some changes too. So it looks like Memo is and should be the captain in this situation.
But Canada does know they're not allowed to use the Raptors in this game, right?
Well, none of the Raptors are Canadian, so they're ineligible.
Dang. Kind of like what Tata said, Yon.
What did
Tata say?
Press match. He said that I don't know how you say this in English. Inamovible. Is that immovable?
He said that he is a fixture on the starting lineup. He's like he ain't going anywhere.
Yes, he said, and then he said,
locked in.
And he said, and Raúl is our more, he's our top striker. And he said, I'm not here to experiment. I'm here to win. And I was like, God damn. Those are the sweet nothings I wanted, You are
the
close to whisper into my ears.
You are 100% en tatarado, I think.
I am Well, I've
So,
been since that one presser in San Diego.
so is this going to be another walk in the park for Mexico?
No, I think this will be their most difficult group game. If Mexico wins, it's not going to be scandal. I mean, if it is scandalous, it'll be a surprise. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think it'll be. I think at the most 3. If they win, by I don't think it'll be no more than 3. I think 1, 2, or 3 will be. I mean, Canada's improved. I mean, they're certainly the strongest of the 3 teams that Mexico's playing in the group.
And
Are
if, and
the
if I'm the
They're still heavy favorites. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they
if I'm the Canadian coach, I play not to lose by a lot,
exactly.
and then secure
I'm-
that second ticket.
I had already written down my prediction. I had it 3-0 Mexico. Another walk in the park on this little
Well,
CONCACAF trail
the
that
reality
we're left with.
is that Mexico's playing 4 warm-up games, and then they have their real tournament with Costa Rica and more than likely the U.S. And that's when the tournament really starts for Mexico, is in the semifinals, because that's when they're going to play teams that can be, because if they end up, if they win the group, which it probably will happen, they play the second place team of Group B, which is probably going to be Haiti. It's probably going to be Haiti or Nicaragua. I mean, seriously. Or it could even be Bermuda. Which, frankly, Joel, I'm thinking, because Mexico has to play Bermuda in the CONCACAF Nations League. I'm thinking Cantina needs to go to that. They need to make it.
I volunteer.
Yeah,
I volunteer
we'll
really
put that on the
take-
business
to
card.
take that flight.
Just like when I had to go to Vancouver to cover the Mexico Canada game. I just had to. We were obligated to. How tough is that for CONCACAF and for teams to go, man, this is such a great city, Vancouver, and then Honduras beats them and then knocks them out, and Honduras qualifies the next to Canada. So instead of getting to go to Vancouver for your games, you're going to San Pedro Sula. Nothing against San Pedro Sula, but I mean, it's just not Vancouver. There are very few Vancouver. Vancouver's a great city, one of the world's great cities. San Pedro Sula is just below that notch, just below that. Yeah, so definitely unfortunate that. Yeah, so I think that. So I think we'll. We might have to make that. That would be the one where we ask for a couple of passes. Maybe 3 or 4. I think.
What's up, guys?
Rico Ayala joins us from. I'm assuming Long Island. Is that correct? Is it still Long Island?
No, it's not. It's actually Westchester County, New York.
Oh, West. Oh, well, is it Scarsdale?
just slightly above.
That's why you were asking me about my handicap. You wanted to see how I measured with the Scarsdale boys.
No, I don't.
It's from Westchester County in the greater New York City metropolitan area.
Yes, just tuned in. Been watching soccer since like 5 o'clock.
Did you get to watch the complete meltdown that the Scots had today, Rico?
I missed that. I was on my way home and I saw Twitter going crazy because I missed that. But I made it home for the Colombia game.
Oof.
Colombia versus Qatar.
Did they beat Qatar?
They beat Qatar 1-0.
Qatar's actually not playing bad.
They're not. There was a penalty that was disallowed because of VAR, where
Gotta love VAR.
a player from Colombia shot the ball in the box, and the Qatar player turned around, and he had his hand behind his back, and the ball hit his hand, but didn't go in, and they said it was not a handball.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, Colombia really dominated them.
As one would expect.
Yeah.
But Qatar is actually, they're holding their own.
But they've been holding their own.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 0-0 up until the 85th minute.
Wow. Well, good for. I mean, it is now. Bora's not the coach, right? Because I know that he is helping him out, but he's not.
No, he was not the coach.
All right.
No, but yeah, Qatar had been paying money and taking, all type of coaches and players, to their league, and also to help with their national team.
Well, Xavi was playing in the Premier League.
the
Yes,
first goal.
So the
Nice.
Mex-Canada game is underway. I don't know about you, gentlemen. I'm 4 minutes in.
Órale.
Yeah, 4 minutes in.
It's
Is everyone watching live on TV or are they streaming?
I'm on Univision.
I'm on UDN on the big TV.
You guys are my eyes and ears. I don't have the game on.
Oh,
Should be a walk in the park.
Now, Rigo, I know that you are a member of the one of the big Chivas podcasts that the
Yes.
folks can listen to. So I have to ask you, Rigo, as a member of the Guadalajara community, a man who, when he receives phone calls, this is his ringtone. Oribe Peralta, Rigo, are you upset? Are you indifferent?
I'm kind of indifferent about it. I mean, I felt like we didn't need a 35-year-old striker. Like I just didn't really care for it. I would have preferred them to keep Jade Pereira instead of reaching for Oribe Peralta. But I mean, you never know with this directiva. So it's just like it to me it doesn't make any sense to bring in a 35-year-old striker, even if he did come on a free purchase and America's paying for half of their salary. It's still I think like a $2 million salary, so that America would pay $1 million and Chivas would still pay $1 million or something like that. The move doesn't make sense to me. I know Joel is going to say that it's for leadership and all this, but it just doesn't.
Well, outside of Peralta, who were the leaders on in the Chivas?
It was Yair.
It was Jair, yeah.
He was also a snitch, and that's why the players were turned against him.
Doesn't sound like much of a leader then.
Well, he has to report to the boss, and the boss wants to know what's going on. So it's kind of playing both sides.
There was that news been coming out that the fans, not the fans, that the players asked, Boy to get rid of Jair because they weren't cool with what he did, and the other thing was that when Alanis got booted, he was also negotiating his contract. So there's word that he threw Alanis under the bus.
Oh wow.
So I mean, I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I haven't seen any of the players defend Jair.
Wow. So great leaders there at Chivas as we were discussing. And then of course there's Alan. We need leaders in locker room Pulido.
But I just don't see how a guy who comes in like from one day to another is going to be the leader just because he's
right. If anything, he'll be even more difficult, because he's not part of the crew.
Yeah.
And he was, he played for America, so you got that going on too.
I guarantee you, no one cares. No one gives a shit about that.
I think they do care.
Oh, I don't think they care about that.
They don't care. They don't care.
Oh, that's right. There's no more, there's no more fire anymore. There's no more rivalry. It's all about business.
How many of those dudes are legit canteranos? They grew up.
Or chivistas. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's like one of the sad realities. But I think team should be used to ultimately get back to that, which was one of the goals a long time ago, to have a squad that's 80% canteranos, and then they sort of lost track of it.
Oh, that's not offside. It's not offside to me. Do we have VAR at Gold Cup?
Not for play like that. They should have let it play through.
Wow. I don't know if you guys saw it.
That'd be really funny if this.
I'm not watching the game. What happened?
You've got to Mexico almost got caught in the offside trap.
So I'm on Chivas' main site, and the first photo is Peralta with Tomás Boy and Higuera, and Higuera just looks like a villain, bro. He looks like a villain out of like a.
He had dinner with who's over there in dial-up.
Chivas TV.
Oh.
Dice, ante el reto de ser campeón con Chivas. Wow.
He had dinner with trophies yesterday.
Oh, he
Who did?
did.
What do you already?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah. He's like, hey, when is the next pool party?
that's right.
And Iram Mir. I wonder if that's like the new leadership
crew.
of the team. The new leadership of the team, yeah. I know Tomas Boy is a big trophies guy, so
Thank God.
because he was
So,
on.
That's reason. If I were a Chivas fan, that would be reason enough to root for Tomas Boy to have a successful go. Because if he has a successful go, that means that Chivas played really well. That means Trophies played really well. And as a card-carrying member of the Trophy Chaser Society, I would be down with that. I would be okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that the last couple of games when he played him and he played him at that 10 position and let him play free, he played well.
Who would have thunk to play Trophies? Wearing the number 10 jersey at the 10 position. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
what kind of crazy
Matias gave him the 10 jersey, didn't he?
Yeah,
but then he played him on the wing.
That makes sense.
I think it was more the system that Matias used didn't really use a 10. It was more of it was a 4-3-3, but with what's his name? Cardoso, he definitely had a 10, and that's where he played Pulido.
Who would you rather play at the 10, Pulido or Trophies?
Oh, trophies.
Well, yeah, I mean Pulido's like
He's not a 10. He's a 9.
and
I don't think he's a 9.
No?
I think he's an 11.
Well, talk about 9s. Raul Jimenez, is he the truth, or what do you guys think?
well, I think that he is about to enter the portion of his career where he's probably going to have more success than he did when he was younger, just because of the kind of player he is.
I also feel like now not that Mexico's had a very big striker pool, but I feel like now it's very thin, and it's his opportunity to really step into that role.
Yeah, I don't think Chicharito's days with the national team are numbered by any means. So
You don't think so? I feel like he's getting close to.
well, I do, but I mean, let's just by what you said about the thin position that is striker for Mexico. I mean, if they have injuries,
Oh yeah,
I mean, again, why wouldn't you have a guy like Chicharito coming on? A guy who can find the tiniest of spaces on a set piece.
Yeah, but his goals are ugly, and we don't like that.
Actually, the true story. I once ran into. I produce pre and post for Oklahoma City Thunder during NBA season, and after one of the West Coast games, it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock when we finally got done with work, and I was, what, I want to. Damn it, I'm gonna have some pancakes. So I went to the IHOP. And there were these guys that were having this conversation of exactly like the guy didn't like Chicharito because he said all his goals are ugly. That was the reason why he didn't like Chicharito, why he didn't rate him highly at all. He's like, all he does is score just goals. It's like, are you kidding me?
Hey, you guys, let's you hear that? Let's return this World Cup. They didn't like the way we won it. Let's start over. Let's begin from scratch again.
I mean, I couldn't. I honestly, I couldn't believe it. It was
It's fine. People won't appreciate him until he's retired, and we're not going to have someone that's going to score 50 plus goals anytime soon, unless Jimenez proves me wrong. But I don't know. I don't think he's that player. I think he's a great, like the way he plays with Wolves. He's a huge influencer, but we need somebody else to give him a little bit of competition. I don't think JJ Mack is ready yet. I think he's too green.
I thought JJ Mack should have been here.
Well, yeah, he was.
It was one or the other.
Mexico has this disease that they have to win U tournaments instead of just let guys play.
No, but it made sense to go to a World Cup over a freaking Gold Cup. Come on, man.
No, not for him.
No, exactly.
Him and Linus should have been here.
I agree 100%.
Linus for sure.
Him and Linus should have been here.
Linus is in Europe, and JJ Mack's trying to get to Europe, and he's not going to go to Europe by not getting scouted at the World Cup because there's going to be more scouts there than at this fucking tournament.
They only played 3 games.
Yeah, but you really think there's going to be international scouts like looking at this Gold Cup that's happening right now? No.
Well, for one, they ruined Leon's chances by removing him from the team,
Right?
for no reason, because they bounced out of the tournament with a coach that they just handpicked out of nowhere, and they kind of just like plopped him and Linus into the lineup like randomly. These guys hadn't even been training with them because they had been playing their seasons. They should have just let them finish their season with their clubs and come to the Gold Cup. I mean, to me, I think not that the Gold Cup is more important than a Youth World Cup, but his getting experience with the senior team, I think, is more important.
He'll have plenty of experience, though. He knows he'll have plenty of opportunities, but
again, Mexico wanted to win. They wanted to win the U20. They were all about winning the tournament. And to me, if you're a kid playing a U20, that just tells me that you're just not good enough.
Only in Mexico do our stars play U20.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everywhere else, U20 guys are already playing.
But are these guys our stars? No, they're still young.
Who? JJ Mack and
JJ Mack. JJ
Mack,
the
star of Mexico this season. He was the best Mexican striker.
No, but I mean, like on the senior team.
That's what I'm saying. Is that it was his chance to come up and let him play. He was the best Mexican striker in the Mexican League, where there aren't very many Mexican strikers at all, and he outscored all of them. I think the next closest was Henry Martin, and
he had scored a bunch of foreign strikers too.
Yeah.
But if I'm a kid and, I'm having all this momentum, my team's in the final, and I'm going to a World Cup where I know there's going to be scouts from all over the world, doesn't it make sense to continue that process than to go to a team in the Gold Cup?
There's this great thing called
where you really don't know anybody,
called tape, where scouts can watch a player and say, "Oh, this guy was supposed to come, but he didn't. Why didn't he come?" Well, let's take a look.
Yeah, but Leon was already planning on buying him from Chivas in order to negotiate him out to Europe. Like everyone thought that this was going to be a great tournament for Mexico, and that JJ Mack would get picked up by one of these teams, but it didn't go that way.
Yeah, I don't think Mexico had any, especially in the group that they were in for the U20. I don't think anyone had any. I think that the expectations were pretty low for that team because they didn't win the CONCACAF qualifying. Got beat pretty soundly by the U.S., who ended up having a pretty decent tournament. They ended up quarterfinalists. But again, I mean, to me, if you're playing on a U20 team, that to me just tells me that you're not good enough to be on the senior team. And if you're good enough to be on the senior side, then why are you playing a U20 World Cup?
I mean,
leadership, Yon.
It's a U20 side. They're all 20.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're 18, 19 years old, and if you're good enough, you're gonna play on the top team. You're not playing on the U20 team. You're playing on the big team.
Yeah, but at the under 20, he's called to be the leader and to carry the team. And so you want to see how.
So that's the other thing. So you're asking this guy to be the leader of the team, and he comes in 3 days before the tournament starts.
Yeah, that sucked. But I mean, you still not going to get many options, to be in that position. So you want to see how these guys perform under those conditions, or under teams where they're not teams that are not that strong.
Another thing too is you guys are assuming like they're going to get minutes in the Gold Cup. They're not coming in as starters. They're probably going to get 20, 30 minutes at tops. Whereas a World Cup, you're the starter. It's like, I don't know. To me, it made sense why they chose the World Cup over the Gold Cup, especially this Gold Cup. And it just, it didn't work out in the end. They didn't have a deep enough tournament, and JJ Mack will probably stay in Mexico, which is fine. He's a young player.
That a Mexican team has had at a youth tournament, I think, ever.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Did they fire the coach already?
Gone.
Yeah.
Apparently, and I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently I read, it was on the internet, so it had to have been true because no one would ever lie on the internet.
No one lies.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's 100%. Correct. That the U team guy was supposed to be Flaco.
Flacotena?
Yeah, but for some reason they went with some schlub that never coached before.
I think I heard
It
that
was
too.
the schlub was the son
Of Chucho
Chucho
Ramirez.
Ramirez's son, who
Ah.
had, it could have been some, it's just who you know type of thing. Which,
I heard it was a who you know type of thing.
yeah, yeah, especially I think if you're Mex and you've been doing well at the youth levels, I think you have the material to send more experienced coaches. If there's just way more coaches out there without a job that have the type of experience that you could send them to a World Cup instead of using that youth World Cup to give a coach experience. Seems like we
So
we put the we put the cart in front of the horse.
I'm not watching the game, but it says that Mexico has 76% possession.
Yeah,
Is that
20
true?
minutes in, yes sir.
Jeez.
Yeah, but that's typical in the Gold Cup. I mean that just doesn't really change.
Not against Canada. That was supposed to be, the best.
They're bunkering.
Yeah, Canada's parking a bus.
They got to get Drake on the sidelines. Maybe he can motivate this team.
Motivate.
He's there. Drake is there.
Motivate. Wait, gentlemen,
no,
I
he's
wanted
not.
to read.
Is he there?
Something.
No, he's not. Yes,
You
Corey.
guys didn't. Yeah, we were talking. You guys were talking about leadership. About
Well, Chivas don't have any. That's why they tried to buy some.
Yeah, but you guys were saying about how much difference it can make. So I got this pretty neat quote here, and it says, "How is it possible that switching a single individual, only the leader, had completely turned around the performances of an entire group? The answer: leadership is the single greatest factor in any team's performance. Whether a team succeeds or fails is all up to the leader. The leader's attitude sets the tone for the entire team. The leader drives performance or doesn't, and this applies not just the most senior leader of an overall team, but to the junior leader of the teams within the team." This was from a Navy SEAL book, and they had SEALs running drills, and they would see a team that was underperforming. They would get the leader from the top team and put him with the worst team, and then sent the leader of the bad team to the best team. And they started seeing that worst team started improving. They would start winning some of the competitions that they were training at.
But I don't think Peralta's that guy.
Did,
I mean,
did you
he
say
would have been
met up
that
with
guy
trophies?
5 years ago if we would have paid $1 million
Oh,
more than what they
no,
were asking.
no, I think he's still. We played a clip here. I don't know if you remember, John, and it was in one of the.
I think I have it. I think I have it. Hold on. I think it was this one. Hang on.
Mierda.
Oh, hang on.
El América es una mierda.
Oh
Is that the
no,
one?
no,
Oh.
no! It's Peralta hyping the team in the locker room.
Oh.
Oh, right.
Well, we've seen
Yeah.
Chivas try this before, right? They did this with Aldo de Nigris,
But he's injured goods, man. He arrived like
He was
broken bones.
broke. Exactly.
and Rafa Marquez Hugo, who
Rafa Marquez Lugo did actually. He ended up.
he did. He played with balls, man. He's one of the few players that I respected.
I mean, how much
Nope.
playing time is expected for?
I mean, it
For
sounds like
Orbelín.
it's horrible and plus 10, man. From what we're gathering here.
Nah, he
Not
doesn't.
either of us expect him to start.
Yeah, he doesn't have to play the whole 90 and carry the team. It's just having that positive influence. And like John said, if the match is like in the last 20 minutes, you need a goal. He's the good dude to bring in.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
curious, is it gonna be a 4-4-2 then? Because there's
It
no
has
way.
to be a 4-4-2.
Well, who cares at that point? I mean, seriously. I mean, if you need a goal, you need a goal. You run a 2-4-4 if you have to.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're not gonna sit down Pulido, So it's gonna have to be him and Peralta.
he did get benched. What was it during Cardoso? I mean, But I'll say like ultimately just
I just feel like more like it stunts the growth of Vega.
I think
Who is
Vega's
still
still going to
20.
be the starter.
Vega's not gonna start, man. You tripping?
I think he is. You
Vega
have to. Vega
is
and
he gonna be
Pulido.
on the wing then? Because
No, if you run, they run a 4-4-2. He doesn't run a 4-3-3.
so where's he gonna play? On the left or the right?
I don't think it would matter. I think if anything,
Exactly.
Pulido play.
Take
I think
turns.
they'll alternate.
Hmm.
They'll go left, right. Deep, shallow. They'll do
And
And then
whatever.
trophies up
Where does
Trophy-
trophies go?
behind them,
Oh wow.
and Molina behind him. Almost like a 4-4-2 diamond.
I love the
That's what I
diamond.
mean.
I think
That's
it's too offensive. There's not gonna be any defense.
well. I mean, you just got.
You just make your midfield, your other midfielders, the box to box guys.
Because Trophy's not gonna come back to defend.
Trophies
So-
isn't, but you'll have
So you're gonna have Molina.
Cone, Molina, and I don't know who'll be on the right.
well they're still talking about bringing in
Bringing
2 more
in-
players.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Pollo Briseño,
Pollo Briseño, yeah.
Yeah, but he'll be a straight up
defender.
defender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought what we really needed was a left back, another center back,
Mm-hmm.
possibly a right back.
Fuck it. Bring in Chaka, man.
No, I don't like any
No.
of those Tigres guys.
Antuna. Let's get him. Oh, he's not a
Yeah, those
defender,
Tigres guys have just gotten really, really tired of winning all those championships.
If Gallardo doesn't
you
go
want a guy
to
like
France,
that?
he should come to Chivas.
So it's 26 minutes in. It's still 0-0. Mexico does not
But that possession, though.
have a couple of they have a couple of shots, but nothing to make the goalie.
They've already made
Work it.
181 passes. That's insane.
I thought that I don't know if you saw that one play with where Jimenez shot it,
Right.
and he had I think Alvarado coming in on the right hand side. Oh, Antuna. It was Antuna. I was coming in on the right hand side, number 22. I think if he would have just flicked it over the defender, he would have left Antuna 1-on-1, but he shot it. I mean, it wasn't a bad shot, but
I mean, he had the goal. He surprised
Yeah.
the goal. He did not. The goalie was not.
yeah,
If that one was on target, it would have been a goal.
yeah.
The goalie had who was like, "Oh, that just happened."
I mean, I feel like in games like this is when you need guys that are willing to take on players because the other team is going to just bunker up.
Well, what's Pizarro doing on the bench then?
He's injured.
Is he?
Yeah. I mean, he's nicked up, so they're not trying to
Mm.
risk him. They saw what happened with KD in the finals, and they're not
Right.
trying to risk him.
It's a smart play. That's why there was no reason for Chucky to play this tournament.
Yeah. I'm surprised Edson's playing. He
Yeah,
was
but I
injured
think-
too.
Yeah, but I don't think his injury was as severe as Chucky's
severe.
was. Yeah, I think he just had like you better get that guy.
Is this the year Chucky makes the move, or are we gonna have another season in Holland?
No,
Oh,
I
sure.
think this year he makes the move.
Yeah. There's a few players I'm like,
He
Hector
was-
Herrera, what are you gonna do?
He was signed, sealed, and delivered.
I thought he was going to Atletico.
Still not official, still not confirmed yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was nice.
You seem to be a few seconds
Ooh.
ahead of me, John.
Yeah.
I also want to know what's gonna happen with Linus. Is he gonna stay at Betis?
Linus.
You know, now that they got a new coach, is he
The
still
new
part of
coach
the?
already talked positive about him.
Did he?
That's right.
Yeah.
That is half the battle, man. Your coach has to like you.
Yeah.
He said the coach said I excel. Ooh, Tata. This is rated PG. Tata.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Did you read those lips, Hoyle?
he reminded someone of Mother's Day.
La concha. Oh,
No.
What did he say?
No, it was very. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. I'm watching the replay here. To break it down frame by frame.
So players that need to go, they need to make a move. Chicharo is one. He needs to get the hell out of West Ham.
He's not leaving Europe. I mean, he's not leaving England. I don't think.
I mean, he can stay in England. That's fine. Just go to a different team. That team does not suit his
Oh.
needs.
Tata and the coach are getting after it.
I just noticed that Chick-fil-A's been sponsoring the Gold Cup.
Does that make you want to go to Chick-fil-A more, Joel? Are you is that where you stop on your way back from your
I
church?
haven't gone
It's
in a
because
while.
Chick-fil-A. It's because Chick-fil-A sponsors a puto champ.
Oh.
Did they play it on the? You know how the Cielito Lindo gets played
Yeah.
now on the,
That to me is of all the friendlies I've been to, man, when they have to force the Cielito
The sound.
yeah,
No man, there'll be something else if they did have a sponsor for the puto.
I would
It'll be risky, but it would pay off.
This moment is brought to you by.
well, it would be in Spanish it would be Miller Lite presenta, and then you'd hear it. Of course. Oh, Chick-fil-A was sponsoring some heavy dialogue between coaches.
Man, oh, it looks like
Tata's dressed like he's about to go to sleep.
So is anyone else as entatarado as Joel is?
I like him. I like him. I think you definitely see the team, has a system, and
And a mission.
yeah,
They have a sense of purpose.
They're offensive, and I mean, it's been a drastic change from the Osorio days, where the Osorio days almost kind of felt like we kind of would win by luck. Like, oh look, well this guy just
Right.
he did an individual play and we scored and now we're winning.
Well, Mexico's been getting closer and closer here these last few attacks, so I think that they'll get a breakthrough here.
I also think with that there's a little bit of evolution to the way Mexico attacks to try and stop these teams at bunker. Because you'll see that the guys, they'll make the deep runs into the box and then they'll cross to the top of the box instead of those old, get to the end of the line and cross it across, and it goes nowhere.
We got a dead guy on the field.
Who's that? Raul? No, not Raul. Guti.
Sorry, that's a TV term. He popped his,
That's a hamstring.
Yeah.
Great.
32nd minute, 0-0.
Oh, someone's putting on his. Oh, it's Guardado. Guardado's coming on. He's got his.
Why doesn't he play Montes?
I think Montes is his second half ace in the hole if he needs it.
It's not a sports bra. It actually monitors the vitals of the players.
It's a bro.
It's a bro.
It's a bro.
Your man moves.
Was it? Now, did you like bro or did you like Manzier?
I think Manzier is better.
You think Manzier's better?
Yeah.
Do you guys have any idea what I'm talking about? Hopefully, you guys have no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god! So there's a Seinfeld episode where Kramer designs this bra for men, and he calls it the bro.
Yeah, I knew that part.
And so he goes with George's dad. I forget what his name was. Jerry Stiller, the actor, who has connections in the clothing business, but he wants to call it the man's ear. So they have this argument about it. And there's a great scene when they're both wearing them and they're playing pool and the wife and George will come in. It's just hilarious. It's a great episode. Anyway, so it's a bro or a man's ear, which is funny that you guys would it goes to just it's a very difficult piece to name in the market. Is it the bro or is it the man's ear?
This part of the podcast is sponsored by Manzier.
I think man's ear is better.
Go to Etsy.com to get yours today, and you'll receive 10% off.
But you say that the
You have to
regulator
use the code.
does it?
Code
Use the
John.
code.
Code John Jagu.
Code John. He's actually spearheading this whole thing.
This whole
John,
campaign.
how's the fit on these?
I could have used the man's ear today when I was playing 18 holes of golf earlier in the 100-degree heat that we had here in here on the banks of Lake Travis and Lago Vista. It was hot.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm enjoying potting during the game because I completely hate the Univision narrators.
Almost makes you want to put it on Fox, huh?
Yeah, no, I was watching yesterday. I was watching on Fox.
You know, honestly,
So
that was when in the last Gold Cup. That's really what kind of sold me on Tomas Boy a little bit, because he was one of the announcers, and he was, he didn't care about, he would, toe the company line and rah rah. I mean, he told it like it was, and he's like, if they did this, it would work, and if they did it, it worked. It's like he's like, I don't know why they're not doing that every time. And so he saw the game pretty differently, but I also remember in the 2015 Gold Cup when in the Panama game where they were begging Guardado, the Univision announcers begging Guardado to miss the penalty.
That was embarrassing
because they were mad that Mexico got a call like that, like as if it was the player's fault, as if the players did that. And of course it was a penalty anyway, so I'm not sure what the issue was. But anyway.
The issue was you had FIFA Gate, that corruption which came out of the whole.
Remind me again, Joel, and FIFA Gate, of all the CONCACAF countries that were implicated.
Yes.
Was there a country that wasn't implicated in all of that?
Yes, Mexico.
Yeah.
The most corrupt of them.
Yeah. They deleted those files.
They knew.
No, hang on a second. That goes to show you how corrupt CONCACAF is when Mexico is the least corrupt.
But
no, they're the most corrupt of all. They're the ones that probably got that whole investigation going. Hey,
no, that was from the that had to do with the World Cup, and then and with Chuck Blazer and all that. So it started in the U.S. and eventually they did get to host, but it was kind of stupid to try to link the two when the investigations was coming from the U.S. to think that they're all under investigation and that they're going to start, trying to rig a game in their own backyard. It's just dumb.
That guy died.
Got another dead guy.
Speaking about corruption, didn't
Michel Platini got arrested?
He didn't get arrested. He was just
detained
held for questioning, and then they released him.
For the Qatar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I mean, again, it's like, why do people think that every business is, there's no business is honorable? Why do people think the sports business is honorable?
And then what's the point? Like, they're not going to change the World Cup from Qatar.
Well,
They should.
They should.
If you would read the Argentine press, they're having secret meetings to discuss. And the weird thing for me is that they haven't released the logo for Qatar, and they usually get that out. At least they do a thing where they release it at the day before the World Cup final, the previous one.
What they do with the Colombia one in '86? Did they have a logo?
They did, and then by this point, Mexico got it by 1983. They already had it locked up.
Oh, okay.
And because that was very quick. I think Colombia said after 1982, we can't do it.
Damn.
So Mexico, and then Ron knows a lot more about that than I. I just remember just being as a kid hearing, hey, we might get a chance to get the world, and of course we moved. So I didn't get a chance to see games till '94. But that's all right. So Mexico has lost Guti.
Guardado's on.
Oh,
what a great pass from Jonathan.
He's a really good player.
Yeah. He's still
better
really
of the
good.
two brothers.
Well, he was always projected to be better than Giovanni anyway, wasn't
Yeah,
hmm
yeah, he was. I mean, he lasted longer at Barcelona.
he? Yeah, and
It was just too much talent ahead of
How are
him.
you gonna stack in that team, man? That was
oh, what a great save and a goal. Is that going to count? Yes, it is. What a great play.
Well, John,
there's the reaction.
I missed it, gentlemen.
Oh
John.
no! Did you step away, Joel?
I did, man.
Ay.
But I'm back.
All right.
I'm back for the replay.
So I'm sorry to hear that. No, it was a nice play. It was
Who scored?
I think it was Piojo Alvarado who scored.
Piojo.
I think it was Guardado who had the first shot, and it was a great save by the Canadian goalkeeper.
Oh, it wasn't Jimenez?
I couldn't tell who it was. I was honestly.
That's number 11. Looks like number 11 scored it.
Oh, so you're right. It was Jimenez who had the
So
first.
cross from the right, and then he scored off a rebound.
These wingers are just feasting off
So Jimenez did shoot.
Jimenez shots.
Jimenez shot first. He did like a tap in, and then the goalie blocked, and Alvarado
I wouldn't call
slotted
it.
in.
It was a great like midair volley from Jimenez that the Canadian goalkeeper did a great job of saving.
I haven't been a big fan of Piojo. Are you guys?
You know, I think there are better players than him right now.
Name them. Go.
Lachope, I think he could play there.
Lachovis is way better.
Elias Hernandez is better.
Elias Hernandez.
So Conejo.
Chucky Lozano can play
Conejo can play there as well.
Tecatito can play there. I mean, he's like the fifth string.
Elias was injured though.
Yeah,
he spent last season injured.
Well, remember, I mean, Alvarado's there because Chucky and Tecatito are not.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he's the third string guy. But I do think that there are better players in Mexico.
Jürgen Damm. No, just kidding.
I'm also surprised at how much playing time Antuna is getting.
Well, he's having a really good season for Galaxy, so I'm not sure why he'd be so surprised.
I don't watch him a lot.
Plus, we don't really have that many options, right? I mean, Vega, he's the other winger.
Well,
I mean, Vega's not really a winger, but
he's a straight up striker. I mean, to play him on the wing is just
you're wasting
major pendejada. Yeah.
Well, who else is gonna come? Fill in. There's not really someone that can, because we don't really have wingers right now.
The trophies, but he ain't take them.
Well,
he was injured.
Conejo's an excellent winger.
Yeah,
he's like one of the best wingers in Mexico. Talk about a guy who should be on the Gold Cup squad.
I'm surprised he didn't go, or he didn't get called up. He was Chivas' best player all season.
Yeah, but the promoters aren't trying to promote him.
Diego Reyes is getting muscled.
He's
so bad
because he's a twig.
I don't understand why they don't just play him at the holding midfield position and just be done with it, because he's not a central defender. He's just not.
Dude, Diego Reyes is not starting material. I don't know what he's doing on the field.
No, he's not.
I'd rather have Hector Moreno or Montes.
I mean, it's gonna be Montes and Salcedo for Qatar, and maybe Araujo if he's still. I can't remember how old he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be 29. So he'll be around too. Yeah, but Diego Reyes is just. I mean, he's the Jürgen Damm of central defenders. There's nothing there.
So is he still in Europe, or did he actually go to Tigres? Because that was the rumor.
No, he's at Tigres now. I mean, he couldn't make it in Turkey.
He's in Tigres?
Yeah.
Oh man.
See, that was another one that Chivas could have, but he's an America guy, so you guys are, they're like,
we're broke, bro. We only got Hermoso because he was free. And they're paying half his salary, man. We're broke, man. We can't afford players.
Oh, Rigo, I forgot that.
I think the reason for the
go ahead. No,
I think the reason that for the half the salary thing was because they didn't want Oribe to get paid more than Pulido or something like that. That's what the rumor was on. I forgot what article I read.
How many Chihermanos have you had to talk off the ledge, Rigo?
About
the Oribe thing.
Oh, everyone hates it. My dad said he's not watching the season.
Damn.
So
until he starts scoring goals.
He barely watched last season, but
So I have a new drop, Rigo. It's if you've ever if you're on the YouTube and you search for goats, like screaming goats.
yeah,
Have you ever seen a goat scream or hear a goat scream?
yeah,
They sound like people.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's the one with the Taylor Swift song, I think.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I figured anytime we mention Chi Hermanos on the CantinaMX podcast, there's only one way that we could follow that up with the screaming goat, which of course, if I had the volume turned up, it would be better. Let's try that again. If the is the sound of a screaming goat. It's the only way to describe a Chi Hermano.
That's terrible. That is terrible.
Yeah. So
The good news is we don't have to worry about relegation anymore. You can just buy your way back in.
yeah, that's well, I think that's going to last for one more season. When they get their 20, they should go to 24. But when they get their 20,
24 would be too much, dude.
I don't think so because I think that they can. There are people that are willing to make the investment, and there are markets that need to have a team.
Bring
Bring
Atlante back. They're cool. Bring Leones Negros back. They're cool.
Yes.
Oh, almost another goal from Mexico.
Who else is in second division? Oh, Zacatepec. They have a dope ass stadium. Sure, why not put them in the
They're
league?
historic.
They're a traditional team, so they should absolutely come back. And selfishly for us, we would.
Oof, that's a close shot.
We would get to go on the games.
Irapuato's also another one.
You know what? You know what team should come back? Toros Nesa. R.I.P.
You guys
they're
aren't
not
old
a
enough
team no
to
more.
remember Coyotes Nesa, are you?
No.
That was the original name.
That's right. They were black and gold.
Because Netzahualcoyol is
Coyote.
yeah, it's a Nahual for, I don't know if it's feasting or starving. But they're like a money. I'm gonna go with starving coyote.
Nice. That was one of those teams I remember. They had Piojo, they had Pony, they had Turco.
Yeah, Lusenhoff.
Oh, they had that guy too.
That guy sounded like a Nazi.
And who was the coach, Joel, when Chivas defeated Toros Nesa for one of their who was the coach for Chivas when
Tuca Ferretti.
they defeated for one of the bids of the Chivas Comet?
Yeah, man, he put that hurt because that first game ended like in a 1-1 tie, and you're thinking this game at Jalisco is gonna be tough, and Chivas just opens a can of whoop ass. It just shocked everyone, man.
And then the next year we get beat by Necaxa.
I know.
But then
Too
Necaxa
soon, bro.
team
It's too soon, man.
That team was stacked, though, man.
Alex Aguinaga. No, Necaxa had a good team. Alex Aguinaga. They had.
Yeah, but didn't somebody miss a penalty kick for Chivas?
They did.
It was on Nápoles, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Was that 95?
98.
98. Listen to you guys. I'm sorry. Jeez. No, I'm just kidding.
I remember because I was 8 years old and it was like World Cup year. 98 was a good year.
I just remember that at 8 years. That's a good memory.
You don't.
Oh, yeah, I remember a lot. I
was trying to use a decoder ring from the Captain Crunch cereal box to figure out the puzzle in the bag. that's all I remember. This guy's bringing up Chihuahua games.
I remember because I was like a kid, and on Sundays it'd just be Chivas. They used to play at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
and I would try to catch it before going to. My parents would take me to church every Sunday, so I'd always be left like the last.
Did you tell them I've already been to church?
Yeah, I know El Rebaño Sagrado. Yeah, so I remember those early memories of seeing all the one championship that they won that I remember in the 90s.
So Jaime, we asked this of all members, guests, etc. We haven't asked yet. How did the Sorting Hat choose Chivas for you?
How the Sorting Hat? Yeah. So it was like it's funny because I just turn on the telly and it was a Sunday, and they would play soccer, and Andres Cantor was working for Univision at that time. So I'd turn on the telly and it'd be a goal, and he would go crazy, and then I just got hooked. and it would always be Chivas. So I just became a Chivas fan like that. Yeah, no family influence or anything. I just had to be at the right place at the right time.
So are you the only Chiva in your family, or are you?
We have no we have a lot of Chivas fans. We have a lot of Leones Negros fans too. Yeah, they're
You know,
like
I honestly believe that they are that they are more popular than Atlas, than Leones Negros,
In Guadalajara?
just because of the fact that the university is so big. So that like teams that wouldn't have a horse between Atlas and but may have gone to the university before. I could root for them.
aren't Atlas fans like in the top
Great.
5 in Mexico though?
As far as like quantity, no.
Yeah.
Maybe in
No?
Guadalajara. Oh heavens, no.
I think Cuauhtémoc fans, they're mostly concentrated in Guadalajara, and they are loyal as far as going to the stadium.
Mhm.
But you're not gonna see fans outside of like too many fans outside.
I'll be
Like I've yet,
honest. I have never in my life run into an Atlas.
Well, they're all wearing paper bags over their heads, man.
They've been wearing paper bags over their heads for 60 years.
yeah, I haven't seen people wearing Atlas shirts.
I mean,
They don't wear them.
there's a
They don't
team
wear
that
them.
the perpetual sad flute for it's Atlas fans. I mean, it's just you can start playing this by jornada tres. It's over.
Well, I don't know anymore. Yon,
Hang on. Oh, that's right. They have the new.
yeah, the grupo Relegi bought them, and they might, if they could work the magic they did with Santos, we were gonna start seeing a more competitive chaflas.
But it's Atlas
It's
I
bad
mean, I don't
when
understand why that team isn't more competitive. They have a good
Bad.
fan base.
because it's Atlas.
Yeah, I mean,
No, bad management, dude.
you,
Same with Chivas.
but
Except
it's
Chivas has
oh,
more
sorry.
money because they're more popular, but I think they're equally badly managed.
Well, I mean, think of how even when Atlas was run by the club, all the however many socios they have, and how hard it was just for them to be able to get any kind of majority. And you talk about backstabbing. I mean, that had to have just been impossible to get any kind of consensus on any decisions.
Yeah, because they had a great setup after they brought in Bielsa to set up their whole scouting and youth, and they had that great team with Rafa and all those players, Cepeda and whatnot, and
Danny boy.
yeah, that's right. And I don't know what happened, man. It's sort of like whoever came, they just like decided not to use all that great material they had.
They had a great team in the early 2000s, and it's bad for Atlas fans when they celebrate a 20-year anniversary of being runner-up.
Of losing the final.
I saw that.
I'm like, damn, bro.
What?
Like,
You know what? I said, what I said? I didn't know, but I do know now. I do know now, gentlemen, what happened. And it kind of the same thing happened to Chivas. It's like you have a great setup, and you have all these coaches, and they don't want to pay them. So they end up losing a lot of these coaches, and people that were there just leave. And it's almost like they have to start again from zero. Because they did lose Efrain Flores, who went to Chivas, who went to Atlas. I don't think he's working right now. But
He'll be working when they fire when they fire the Chivas coach. It was Real that always comes in.
But it's Real, but he's at Toluca. But I mean, I'm saying that's one of the things, I think one of the downfalls of Mexican clubs where they don't value like the youth coach or overall coaching to pay them more, to keep them around long enough, you know?
Well, like we mentioned Joel earlier, one of the guys that we actually had on this podcast who was working for, he was the GM of Zacatepec for
Yes,
Michel Richo, a very good Chilango last name like mine, Jagu, but and he even said that the youth league system in Mexico is worthless because all they care about is winning trophies, and they're just it's like shouldn't your goal be to send X number of guys to the senior team every 3 years, whatever it is, instead of what are essentially meaningless trophies. And he says that is the biggest, which is also the biggest problem in this country here in the U.S. is that all these select teams. I wish we had Profe Cambia Reyes here to tell us about it, but all they care about are winning. What good is that going to do a kid with his with the parents? They're going to develop into a better player. How are you going to know? But hey, you got that trophy. So that is one of the big problems that's happening in Mexico right now. Sounds like the dogs.
Yeah, that's my dog. And pick him up.
Yeah.
Firulais?
No, his name is.
His name's
Mark
Oribe.
Ruffalo.
Is it Buffalo? Is it Buffalo?
It's Oribe, pero.
Or is it Temo? Is your dog named Temo, Joel?
It's Park Ruffalo.
So I got a question for
Ruffalo,
you guys.
I like
If Peralta comes in starting to score goals, will you guys forgive him?
I mean,
He's already forgiven.
You're the one that looks like you needed to forgive him.
What if he starts flopping though?
See, I'm not a Chivas fan, so I don't care one way or the other. I think it was a good move. I mean, I don't see. Not every move has to be a slam dunk. I mean, sometimes you have to make little moves too. This is not a big one. This is a little move. It just happens to be a big name. But I mean, this isn't like this earth-shattering, groundbreaking move. But I think it's a move that could help Chivas big time.
Okay.
I think in the long run, it'll end up being a good move. I mean, Chivas strikers, what if they score 4 goals in a year? I mean, what's the most goals that Alan Pulido has scored in the last 4 or 5 seasons? Since 2017,
maybe 5.
4.
He scored the most important one though, the one that got us the title.
Playing part time for America.
I mean, Chivas hasn't had a goal scorer in a long time. Long time.
Since Chicharito for that one. For those 10 games that one season, that was it.
Yeah.
He's like Kaiser Sosa, and then poof, he was gone. Never.
And then Omar Bravo won scoring title once, and it was with like 9 goals.
And it was a joint.
Even like 80 years to do it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a joint effort? Like there was 2 players with the same.
Winning the scoring title with 9 goals is sad.
Yeah. Pepe Cardoso had 29 in his
29 in a short season.
Was it 29? I thought it was 36.
No, it's 29.
No, Cavino would be the one that racked up the crazy number like they had in the longer seasons, but he would go into the high.
Also, man.
When Hugo won the Golden Ball, I think his best year in Europe, he scored 38. If I'm not mistaken.
38 in Mexico?
No, in Spain.
In Spain. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that was his best year. I think he had 38.
El Pichichi.
Because when he was in Mexico, Tomas Boy was the top scorer, right? I mean, when he was
it was Cavino, because he and Cavino played on the same team, and then they moved Cavino to Atlante. So it was Hugo. I think Hugo played by himself for 1 year, and he ended up being the top scorer. But I mean, Boy, back then was Hugo was the best striker, and Boy was the best midfielder. I mean, there's no question. And then they.
I've been watching videos of their beef.
Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? It's,
yeah.
And he's got a huge bug up his ass about Pumas too.
But it's funny because usually, like when Hugo Sanchez talks shit, people usually like kind of back down because of who he is. But Tomas Boy doesn't give a shit, and he just talks crap right back.
Right, and I think that what Tomas Boy, I think his big beef was, dude, I could have gone over there too.
Yeah,
and he could have and done very well, but for whatever reason, it just he just didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah, they. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a couple of videos on YouTube about their beef, and it all stems supposedly back to the captaincy of that '86 World Cup, and how Hugo wanted it because he thought he deserved it because he was in Europe, and Tomas was basically like, "Well, I'm the best in Mexico, like, and the whole team chose me, so I'm the captain."
Right.
And apparently at this last World Cup in Russia, they were still bickering about it on Football Picante. I didn't even realize. Like I didn't even. I mean, I would watch a lot of football picante, but I didn't even realize it until now that I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, we also had, should understand and realize that back then, Tigres and Pumas were the best teams in the league.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's the video that I watched showed like that one would win the championship and the other would win the championship.
Right. Yeah, they were really good teams back then. I mean, and in all honesty, I as a Puma, because of those games, the Pumas fan that I am, I think that Tigres is Pumas' biggest rival, not America. I think it's Tigres. Because of the their universities, yes, but because of those games and how rough. I mean, those were good games. I mean, as we're talking about remembering games as kids, I remember those games, man. Those were.
Yeah, and Mexico do a horrible job promoting that, like Clásico Universitario, and I think they could just do more to hype up those games.
Right. That's why it would have been so sweet for Pumas to come back from the 3-0 to beat Tigres in that final, where they came so close. They scored 3, and then they hit the post in stoppage time. Oof, that would have been great.
All right, guys, I gotta run. I'm gonna try and catch the second half of the Mexico game.
Well, I think you should. Will you be joining us Sunday night post? I'll actually be in Charlotte.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully, I'll have some audio.
Okay. Sounds good, man.
It'll be late East Coast, but for you guys, we should be at least not past bedtime. So, but thank you for coming on, Jaime. It was a
thank you,
pleasure.
John, Joe, and Rigo. We'll talk soon.
Man. Take it easy.
Jaime Landeros joining us here in the CantinaMX podcast. I think we could designate his status currently right now as from Chivas, like happy, content Chivas fan to the Chiaramano. I think that he's bordering on the Chiaramano side right now because he is a little he's a little butthurt about the Oribe signing, which I find interesting. I think that there's like a big age difference here.
Yeah, he's a little bit younger. Well, he's like 5 years younger than me at least.
Well, he's apparently still in his 20s, which I remember when I was in my 20s. The thing that bugged me the most was when people would second guess me.
You become immune to the nonsense. It's just like whatever. I'll probably watch anyways, but I'm not gonna make an effort.
So if it's on, if you're home and it's on,
I'm home and it's on, you're
watching. But you're not gonna build your day around
I used to. Yeah. Same thing with this Gold Cup. Like, luckily these games are on.
These late starts are frankly killers, man.
Yeah.
Like for you and me, Rodrigo. I mean, this is rough.
If we weren't podcasting, I probably would have gone to bed.
This is actually the game I wanted to watch the most because I knew that Canada was
most competitive.
And they were going to do the whole defense thing, and Mexico seems to have done a pretty good job of cracking it a little.
Have you guys watched?
Guarantee you that the guy that they have on the TV right now is from El Salvador.
Probably.
He's got a Brazil shirt on and he's holding a Canada scarf.
He's definitely Central American. Have you guys watched other Gold Cup matches?
I watched
the Mexico game.
I watched the Curacao. Who did they play? Curacao.
That sounds painful.
I can't remember who it was that they played.
Oh man, John, are you sure you watched it?
It was El Salvador. It was El Salvador because De Los Cobos was coaching, so I wanted to. And sure enough, man,
he's still there.
He's back. He's back with them.
Because he was there and then he left and he came back.
Yeah, but it's been like over 10 years.
I mean, that's how you build a winning team. Continuity.
Right. Exactly. No, but he is back, and they did, and Curacao. Like I said, I have a little thing for them because I made a very bold prediction that they would make the hex. So I'm watching them purely for selfish reasons. No, but I do think that they have, that they certainly have the talent to.
What was the score, John?
I think it was 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah, El Salvador.
Okay.
The Guanacos pulled it out. It was, but both teams had some chances, so it was. And and then yesterday it was watch. I think TNT in Panama, which I guess was actually produced, but then I think they had Brazil, Venezuela, which Oh my goodness, I could not believe the first one I thought was off. He was clearly offsides, but that second one that they took away from Brazil,
Yeah,
I don't know how on earth they could determine from those angles that the player was offside.
I mean
To me, it was not conclusive at all.
they've been going really hard with VAR in Copa America, like a lot. Like
Right.
most of the games have at least like 7 minute stoppage time.
It's insane. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna have VAR, you have all those angles, man. Take 1 minute. If you stop the game for one, if you can't figure it out in 1 minute, then play stands. Period. Like, but to sit there and just, oh yeah, the stoppage time was a killer. But I mean, to me, again, I'm a big proponent of VAR, and I like it because I do think that it can right some wrongs. But there's something about the call on the field as well. And if you can't determine anything different from what the referee saw when he made that call, you have to stick with it. You can't be looking for stuff and then freezing. You just can't do that. I mean,
Yeah, it
they
definitely.
tried so hard to justify that one, and even Chiqui Marco on the podcast, he's like, "Oh, lo van a anular." There's no. I'm thinking, man, there's no way. And sure enough, yeah, they did, and I was like, how on earth can you make that call?
What I don't like is that while the ref is, looking at the screen, we're not seeing what he like the replay again.
Right.
So we're left in limbo as to what the fuck
Yeah.
happened.
And then you made a really good point because you said, yes, whether he was in an offside position or not, his being there did not change the outcome of the play because that ball was going to go in either way.
Yeah.
So there was by that reasoning alone, it was not offside. He had no effect on the outcome of the play.
I don't know. It's been. I mean, I've been watching more of Copa America just because the matches are more interesting.
Sure.
But the VAR has been very. Well, it's been good. I mean, there has been instances where they made the right call.
Yeah, and most of the time they do make the right call. But my big issue about this is if you don't have a shot, if you don't have a way to prove that it's not correct, then you can't just assume. But look at a shot, go, well, I think it could be this. No, it has to be. I mean, I do the same when I was doing college football, and I even did it for a couple of replay guys when I was producing a college football game. And they're like, well, we think it looks like this, so we're going to call it this. I'm thinking, dude, you can't think it looks like that. You have to
it has to.
know
It has to
exactly.
be. Yeah.
And it just drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. I remember one time there was a game where a 2-point conversion was I forget what they had the replay. A guy had fumbled it apparently, before he crossed the goal line. And on their quote unquote definitive angle, when the actual thing happened, like the player is blocked in the shot of when the ball, so you have no idea. And then you can tell right there on the angle. It's like, how on earth can you tell? I mean, you can't see that person's person in the shot. Yeah, so that just is one of my big pet peeves about video replays. That if you can't figure it out, then you cannot make it
Overturn it. Yeah.
you just can't. So hopefully they'll get that straight. And you can't take 7 minutes to do it either. You guys have plenty of cameras. Figure out your little system, and make your decision because you'll be able to make your decision pretty quickly.
Hey, this is a fact that I found interesting. USA is the most winningest team, not championships, but games in Gold Cup history.
Yeah, because Mexico, you have to remember, like the Gold Cup for Mexico, there's always some ridiculous drama, the unneeded, telenovela pendejadas that happen with Mexico. That and then with Hugo play, they lost to Honduras because when Cuauhtemoc elbowed the guy after he blew a kiss in his ear. And so Mexico, and then in the Clembuterol and when Vasco Aguirre pushed the Panamanian player, there's always something that happens.
But is it just since it was rebooted in '91, or it includes previous tournaments.
I don't know. They've been showing. Well, yesterday they were showing the stat while the USA was playing.
Because they pretty much played. It's pretty much been all home games for them.
Right. They should be the leaders in school.
I mean, if Mexico played all the Gold Cup games at the Azteca or at the Jalisco and the what have you, I'm pretty sure they would have even more wins.
I mean, Mexico playing in U.S. kind of at home too.
True.
Did you-
But again,
did-
Mexico has a lot more drama that surrounds the Gold Cup than the U.S.
Did you guys watch Fútbol Picante last night?
I did not.
It was with Chepo La Torre. He was a special guest.
Now I have to watch.
It was actually
That's my rooster.
You said the magic words for Joel.
Yeah,
I
man,
know.
my nipples are hard.
It was actually really good so part of the interview was they showed Tata at the press conference, pretty much saying how he had told the all the owners from La Federación like everything that he wanted to do with the national team. Like he wanted to stop playing friendlies in the U.S. He wanted to play friendlies in South America against better rivals and stuff like that. So they were asking Chepo and Hugo about their time with the national team, and it was basically like, you can want whatever you want, but at the end of the day, the federation is going to do whatever the federation wants. And with the contract with some, there's nothing you can do. But
they could choose to not sign the contract.
Oh yeah, but I mean, obviously it's money in their pockets, so they're not
Sure.
going to do it.
None of that, but they're playing one game a year, guaranteed at the AT&T Stadium.
I mean, what's really puzzling to me, at least from the federation. I know they're getting money in their pockets, but it's like, why are you? I mean, and I know they don't care, but why are you putting the players' careers in danger, playing them on turf when they're not used to playing on turf? They all play on grass, and you're having them play these friendlies on turf, and every single time that they do, somebody gets injured.
Right.
So it's like, why do you continue to do it? Oh shit.
Oof.
Yeah, Canada with the breakaway.
Ooh.
And a low shot that whistled by really close.
That's the kid, right? That took that shot.
The one
What,
from
the
LA
Leverkusen?
Galaxy?
No, the one from who went to Bayern Munchen, Davies.
I thought it was
He's
Leverkusen.
only like 18, because he was 16 at the last one. See, that's what I'm talking about. Why on earth would he? Yeah, Davies. He's really good. He's one of the reasons why I'm a little bearish on Canada this time around. I think that they're going to make the Hex.
With him
And
and
I think they have a really good chance of making the World Cup too. I think they could be the, that they could be the third or make the playoff. Oh, that was beautiful! Holy smokes, that's the Guardado that we know and love. Goodness gracious!
God dang. And in the last game, he was pretty much running the whole offense. And here he is answering Davis' shot with one of his own.
And there I am, not wanting him at the cup.
Yeah, but you know what? He didn't do any of that under Osorio. He didn't take one freaking shot on goal under Osorio.
Yeah, he's been scoring goals now. Rigo, is it because of his age?
I mean, I felt, one, he's because of his age, and two, I felt like under the whole Osorio era, he was just, not that he wasn't good, I feel like he was not utilized correctly.
Yeah.
So he wasn't playing well.
That's my gripe with JCO too. I felt he didn't utilize a lot of the players to the, he didn't put him in the best positions for them to.
Isn't that just like Mexico and Mexican fans? Like we finally have, the generation that we want, and they're 27, 28 years old. Like they're at the prime of their career, and the coach they have in the World Cup is playing them, is playing every single one of those guys out of position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it pissed me off. And you had Layun, and he had this record-breaking season in Europe,
right,
where he was like the top in assists or top three of all the Euro leagues. in assists, and he comes to Mexico and he puts him on the other side of the
Yeah, puts him on, and then puts him in the right midfield. Yeah, just crazy.
Go over there, dude. Just, oh man, yeah.
And Rodrigo, this is something you pointed out, I think, over and over again. I think it was probably the thing you pointed out the most in the Osorio era is the wing backs never overlapped, and
No,
that's this offense can't work without them not overlapping.
correct. I mean, you see, who is it? Gallardo is like up all the way. Look at Chaka, up all the way.
Yeah,
But then also, I mean, you have a really strong defensive midfielder, which we never had under Osorio.
right.
Yeah, and I think Kachuki should, under this system,
Oh,
he should
he
even
he should
better.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see Vela under this system. I mean, it's a shame that he hates playing soccer. But
Have you seen the look of contempt on his face when he scores oh my God, it's another
one.
goal. Oh dear.
Now they're gonna call me up to
So
the national team again.
boring. Yes.
But no, I mean, I was definitely one of the Guardado anti-Guardado guys. Even right now, when he went in, I was like, "Why is he putting him in? He should have put in Chapo Montes."
yeah. Well, I bring it back to the leadership,
Oh,
Rigo.
what a
I
great
think
pass.
yeah.
he brings that to the team. So I think this benefits having those leadership qualities in players like Guardado and Machoa.
I mean, talk about a guy who's had a solid career. Guardado went to Europe in 2007, and he's had maybe that one season where he was at Valencia and it didn't work out, and they loaned him to Leverkusen, and he ended up going to Eindhoven. I mean, he's played everywhere he's gone,
Oof.
and has been a fixture on the starting lineup everywhere he's played, except for that 1 year.
We need to get one of the beers. Remember they were doing a beer for him in Holland? It was the Golden Eagle. It must have been limited.
Wow. Well, somebody must have just had a beer right there.
There's Rigo.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's just water.
No. Well, this is the CantinaMX podcast. I would assume that somebody's. I'm pretty sure Joel is.
I had the beer earlier.
Is enjoying a fresquecita.
I drank a michelada. Just
Not the mango micheladas again.
It did. I had one.
That's okay.
It's the new favorite.
Mango michelada?
Yeah, it's Estrella de Jalisco in conjunction with Clamato and Golden Road. And it's a michelada with...
Dude, if you're going to buy mango michelada, you need to just follow it up with your favorite flavor of wine cooler.
I just do the regular michelada.
Yeah.
I like the spicy ones.
Oh, yeah.
The one that...
You should make your own michelada, Joel.
Make my own?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I'm lazy, dude. I just want to pop open the can and start drinking. Oh, man.
It's a nice save.
Is that a save or off the post? Or both?
It might have been like off the post, off the hands.
Oh, off the hands. I wasn't going to say. I thought it was off the post. No, Raul can't buy a goal, man. I have to admit, I'd much rather see Raul struggle like this than to when Chicharito had that sitter against Costa Rica and he whiffed on it, whiffed.
No, I mean, I think Raul is the better forward out of both of them. When it comes to the national team, he just doesn't have the same luck that he has on his clubs.
Chicha makes us luck.
Oh, no, nobody has better off the ball movement than Chicha.
No.
Nobody.
No, he's world class at that.
And that's half the goal is knowing how to move in the box.
I remember he put a triple move on John Terry, made him look like an idiot. It was on Super Bowl Sunday because it was on Fox. So they started the whole day with Chelsea against Manchester United. They just, that's back when it was on Fox Soccer Channel. But they said, hey, let's put this one on Fox. So they put it on Fox. And Chicharito came in in the 60th minute. They were down 3-1. and I think he provoked the penalty for 3-2, and then scored the equalizer with like in the 88th minute, because he like faked once, twice. I think he did it like 5 times to pry himself loose, and it worked. And John Terry just looked at him. You got to be effing kidding me! This little twerp scored on me again.
Yep.
Yeah, he would always score on Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. So that's why I honestly believe that Chicharito is still going to be in the World Cup mix, just because of the fact that he can do that, and he can score. And I mean, good God, talk about bringing somebody off the bench if you need a goal. I mean, would you rather have Alexis Vega come off or Chicharito? I mean, it's a no-brainer.
How old will he be? 34.
34. For a backup striker, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Hugo started a World Cup game at 36 in 1994, and frankly, probably should have kept playing.
Should have been subbed on in that game against Bulgaria for sure.
Have you ever heard Stoichkov talk about that game and how they were quaking in their boots?
Yeah, he said that to calm down players.
I heard that Stoichkov said in an interview that they spied on Mexico.
Well, I'm sure they did
before the game.
But they were quaking in their boots when they saw Hugo come up to the touchline.
Why doesn't he come on again?
Because Mejia Barón didn't want Hugo to shoot a penalty kick. So why? A great way to solve that is to score a goal before penalties. Call me crazy.
Well, wasn't it that Mejia Barón wanted him to play in the midfield?
Yeah, it was just.
There was a phone call.
Was Tomas Boy assistant coach then?
I don't think Tomas Boy was an assistant on that team, but I know there was a Tuca.
Yeah, it was Tuca.
And Vasco were the.
Because in that video that I watched,
he may have been. I'm not sure.
Hugo kind of makes a comment about how he wasn't allowed to be the captain in '86 because what they told him was that Tomas was the oldest, so that's why he was captain. So he said, when I went to the '94 World Cup, I was the oldest, and so I was expecting to be captain, but they told me no, that Nacho Ambriz was going to be captain, and he kind of was throwing a dig at Tomas Boy. So I didn't know if Tomas Boy was part of that coaching staff.
I don't think he was. I think he was. He had just finished his playing career, so I don't think he was on that staff at that time. I could be wrong though, but I don't think he was.
No, I don't think it was against him though, like the way he likes to think.
Yeah. And I don't think he probably would have been because it was all Pumas. That was a Pumas staff.
And I agree that for '86 that the team chose Boy.
I mean, the dude's name is El Jefe, for God's sakes.
And
of course,
they had been practicing together for a long time, and Hugo had just arrived. Like he came late into the camp, but he felt like out of prestige alone that he should have had the band, and Boy didn't. Boy was given that option, but he said no.
Talk about bringing it back full circle, Joel.
Yes.
That World Cup team, everybody except Hugo took the year off and played nothing but friendlies that whole season. One of the reasons why they had the Pronosticos Deportivos tournament.
Yeah, the Pro de 85.
Better known as the Pro de 85, which of course was won by America when they shortened the season.
Yeah, yes. I mean, you could see why playing that many games and being together that long, why the players were Bote and Tomas.
And Hugo was playing at Real Madrid, so he didn't come until the end. He didn't join the World Cup team until the end of the season. So those guys had been together for a whole year. And Tomas Boy was the captain of Tigres back when they were kicking all sorts of ass. So there was I mean, I remember as a kid saying, "Of course." I mean, I saw Tomas with the captain's arm. I was like, "Well, of course." Who else would it be? I
Yeah,
mean,
and
to me, there was no doubt in my mind.
he said how they even had to make adjustments just to bring in Hugo.
Yeah, they said that's what Tomas says is that they had to make adjustments to the way the team played because Ugo was coming on, and they had been playing differently.
Right.
So
Well,
that,
I mean, Ugo was a. I can't remember who that. I think was it Servin or Flores who was the backup forward.
I don't
I
remember.
think it was Servin. But yeah, I mean, they did, and that was one of the issues that they had for sure. But I mean, you couldn't leave him off the. I mean,
Yeah,
good
you
God.
couldn't. Yeah,
I mean, he was. He was right
goal scoring
in the
machine.
midst of his one of his penta. So yeah, he had to. I got to tell you, the defense is a little
Shaky.
yeah,
Yeah,
but that's I
they
mean,
keep.
isn't that and then
That's
isn't that
part of this.
yeah,
That's part of the style.
that's like saying I think that the sun is going to come up tomorrow. It's just Mexico's defense is always shaky.
I mean, you just have to hope that those fullbacks are making the runs back,
I
and theoretically,
well Edson should be like the
Edson should be
yeah
dropping back as a center back.
right
So they should have three back.
yeah he should only come
Which
up for emergency
you know
purposes.
what's funny is that I'm always talking shit about Diego Reyes, but the other day against not that Cuba was really posing a threat, but he was doing that really well. Particularly when they would on goal kicks
Here
when
you
they
go.
would come
Here
out.
you go. Here you go.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. So Luis Montes comes on, the second substitute for Mexico. Comes on for Roberto Alvarado, who scored Mexico's first goal off a Raul Jimenez rebound. And Mexico's up 2-0 in the 68th minute, but Luis Montes comes in, so that means there's gonna be some shots from outside the area fired before this game is out. In fact, he's on top of the area right now. They could pass it to him right now, and he could one time it into the back of the net.
How old is he, John?
He's got.
Couple.
I think he's 30. He's definitely in his 30s. This is his last.
Yeah, it
Hurrah.
is.
Yeah.
And ironically, his game in San Diego, that's where he scored a goal, and that's where he had. It was a friendly, right? Was it? Was it the
It
friendly?
was. Yeah.
And that's where he had gotten injured prior to 2014.
No, it wasn't. It was in Arlington.
Quite.
He broke his leg in Arlington,
Wait,
not in San Diego.
didn't he score there though in Arlington?
Yes, he did.
Wait, yeah,
He
I
scored on a free
confused
kick
the
goal.
venue. Yeah, but
You did.
he came back, so that was his like return, sort of.
It was great to see him score. Honestly, it really was. And you can't really blame the turf for the broken. I mean, it was just like he had like bone on bone contact. It was pretty rough. But if y'all remember in that game, Rafa Marquez came really close to breaking his foot because an Ecuadorian player had gone just put one of his studs just full on his foot, and there's like 2 inches of sod and concrete there that they're playing on. So that was that could have cost Mexico dearly in that World Cup had they lost Rafa, because he was playing really well. They had a great World Cup until he got snookered. I cannot blame Robin for that. I
mean,
can't.
that game was lost from when Schneider scored.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think we would have won in extra time. I
No,
felt
I mean
like
the worst part about that game was that the Guardado and Herrera just they'd been on empty since like the minute 65. They just had nothing left in the tank.
And then Herrera, Moreno going down.
Yeah.
So early, not early, but when he went down, I thought that was a big loss.
But
let's not talk about that.
I'm just saying, it's like, why on earth would you even consider touching that guy when you know he's gonna make the biggest meal out of any kind of contact there is, and sell it really well. And he was the best player in the tournament, so he's gonna get the call.
70 minutes in, Mexico's still leading 2-0
But Rigo said, "Let's not talk about it."
Oh, oh, I just giving updates, and this,
No,
this
no,
is a
I was
new game.
talking about the no era penal.
Not a penal.
You know what? I have a friend that I grew up with in Mexico City who's Dutch. Antal Reuter is his name.
Who's you rooting for?
He rooted for Mexico, but
I feel like the foreigners, well, not foreigners, but the people that are born in Mexico who are, whose parents immigrated there, always are more Mexican or feel more Mexican, and they root for Mexico over the other countries. Is that a
well, it's definitely true for me.
accurate observation?
And I mean, I can only speak for my friends that were born there, and I think that's yes. And I think I think that has a lot to do with where you're born. So,
But then, like, you see us Mexican Americans who are born here, we root for Mexico instead of America. And I don't know if it's just the way, just the Mexican thing. Could that be it?
well, I mean, I guess it depends on how you grew up. I mean, if you grew up, speaking Spanish mostly, then I could see why that would be the case.
The community too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you were Dutch and you grew up in a where there's a bunch of Dutch, you know, your whole tienda you could get fries with mayonnaise and all that stuff.
Right.
They watch all those games. They will
Beans on the side.
probably end up being more Dutch, because we grew up in very well, at least I did, and the community was a lot of immigrants, so that helped a lot.
I mean, that's how it was for me too. It was all Mexicans. Who's
Yeah,
this?
so
Charlie Rodriguez?
Charlie's coming. He's really good too.
Yeah, he's really good.
He and
Yeah, he had an excellent game against.
Yona are essentially the same player. I think Yona's a little more elegant, but they're like mirror images of each other. Yona dos Santos could play on any team in Europe.
That's
right
what I
now.
wanted Chivas to get.
Yona.
Charlie. No, Charlie. I mean, Yona too, but
Yeah,
Where
Chivas
is
needed
he
to.
at? He's in
de
what team is
Monterrey.
he in?
Monterrey.
Well, apparently the
Oh.
only players that Chivas can sign in this particular signing period are players that have previously played for Chivas at one point.
Or have no transfer fee.
Yeah, but Oribe was a Chiva too.
Yeah. For
Yeah, he played
Libertadores.
Libertadores.
No, but he played
Before
even
that,
before
I
that.
think.
He was in the system at least.
I think in the youth, right?
I believe in the youth, and I think that like one of his first stops as a young player was at Chivas. It didn't work out. That's funny. I remember like in 06, 07, before he really blew, when he was at Jaguares, and he was like 6 or 7 weeks into the league, and he was the leading scorer, and you're like, well, that's not going to last. And it just kept going. It's like, wow, this is actually, we don't have to keep an eye on this guy. And he was a late bloomer because he didn't start playing well at there till at least 25, 26, and then he went to Santos, and it just went bananas for him.
Canada's been attacking. Gotta give them some credit. They've
Not
been
accurate.
close a few times. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, they have it. They're going to give Costa Rica some. That quarterfinal is going to be as 50-50 a game as you can get in CONCACAF, I think, because it does look like Mexico's going to. I can't say anything now after watching Scotland just fall apart the way they did against Argentina.
So they were up 3-0 and
they were up 3-0 in the 75th minute. Oh no! See, there we go. So let's see what happens here. See, I shouldn't say anything. Canada just scored.
Yeah, well, we saw
Whose
it
fault?
coming.
Whose
We were
fault was
just
that?
talking about it. The defender, which is, I don't know if this is the correct word, pussyfooting. I don't know what he was trying to do with the ball right there.
And if it was Nestor,
Oh, he's gonna fake. He's faking an injury, so he doesn't seem so bad.
he was trying to he was trying to move.
He was trying to be cute, man, and he
Can't have that.
He's gonna fake the injury.
starts holding his hamstring.
Was the Canadian player offside? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so it's 2-1 Canada. As Joel said, Joel, remember when we talked last week about the Cuba game where they didn't try any stupid stuff. They just were methodical
Yes.
and just played. This is the stuff that you worry about
No,
in Mexico, and in a
no,
tournament like
no,
this is when they try to
I'm
get on.
sure Araujo's gonna get an earful
Yeah.
from Tata after the match.
And they have been trying a lot of cute little back heels and stuff. It's this is definitely a game for Tata to have a good sit down and watch the tape of the players and go, boys, we can't be doing this. Better teams will crucify you for making decisions like this.
Yeah, and it's very surprising to me coming from Araujo, who's been one of the more consistent and one of the best Mexican defenders.
Yeah, to me, he's been the most consistent since he got got called up.
What was his year like at Celta? Did he play regularly, or was he?
I'm not sure. I know he scored a few times, but I don't know if he played much after after what's his face left. Mohamed. That's where Mohamed was, right?
See, once
Yeah,
again, if you don't have the coach, oh, that's a good ball. If you don't have the coach, it's going to be very difficult.
Pass it back.
Oh,
Pass it back.
he got it. Wow, Che Guardado.
Wow.
oh man, again, just like that, Guardado again always answering back,
Oof.
and this is what now what is it? Because Mexico, I think Tata's teams only know how to score 3 goals.
Yeah.
This is the what? Fifth game, sixth game?
Fifth game in a row that they've scored at least 3 goals.
Yeah, that's quite
Raul,
the run.
you know what's funny, that Raul has done a very good job of being like the poste this whole game. Heading the ball off or laying it off to somebody else, and right there he lays it off. Well, like heads it back to
He
Antuna.
is Raul is as a complete
Striker.
as you can get. Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Looks like Guardado has the good luck strokes tonight. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. See, they should be doing them. I like these pieces, these little analysis things. I get sponsored, so I have to do it. But you don't have time to do this in a soccer game because soccer just moves and moves and moves and moves and moves. It's very quick.
Especially from a play from when? Like a while ago?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, it takes time to build something like this, but run it when there's a sub coming on, or
At halftime.
yeah, exactly, or in post, but it's sponsored, so they have to. So we just missed all these. We have no idea what just happened here, right? So, because the action was happening. That piece is just too long. It's too long to run it during a soccer game. Oh, that was sweet. Y'all see I guess y'all see it in a second. Fue sin querer. Okay. So this is Luis Monte. Well, might be a little too far off for Luis.
Charlie?
Actually, I think this is well within Luis's range now that I look at it. Oh, that's a good ball.
'80th minute, Mexico leading 3-1. Could we say this match is pretty much in the bag?
Well, we thought that at 2-0 a little while ago, and then Canada scored. So
I know, but Mexico answered back so quick.
I'm glad that Canada scored. Kind of woke them up a little bit.
That
Right.
sort of shows motivation, though.
Not that they weren't trying to score, just that kind
Yeah.
of like little fire under their ass.
they were hot dogging a little too much.
Yeah. Who's injured now?
Chaka. He's all right. That's a foul.
Ooh.
I love these little spats.
You think they understand each other?
Oh, I think they absolutely do.
I just noticed Ochoa's letting his hair grow.
Oh, you and
Who
Chico
does
are always on the cutting edge of the fashion.
who does Cavallini play for?
I thought it was Puebla.
Yeah, he's bringing back the Alice headband. I thought he looked dapper with that short haircut, but I think he wants his locks back.
So it's 3-1. I think Chaka's down. Let's see if they sub for him. Mexico has already lost. Oh, it looks like it's his ankle, perhaps, or is it his knee?
Oh, he does play for Puebla.
We would
Oh,
never steer wrong here in the CantinaMX. Did they show the replay? Was it bad? Is it his knee, Joel?
it's the player that landed on top. Tried to jump over him, and he landed on him with his foot.
So this is like they're gonna have to pull him out injury.
I don't know if it's injury. It might just be hurting. He needs that magic spray. You guys ever had that spray on you?
No, but I know what you're talking about. I've seen it.
Ice spray.
Yeah.
I have a skid idea where if you go to like one of those clinics, the minute clinic type things, and you say, doc, I have a, whatever, and kind of like they do here, they just pour cold water all over that part that's afflicting you, because apparently that's the only thing that can work to get
Cool.
guys better at soccer. So with whatever the affliction is, that's the doc's first. Well, let me pour some cold water all over that. Make sure. Is this thing still working?
Yes.
All right, just making sure.
You think Canada will score another one? Nah, I don't think so.
No, I think Mexico they're gonna settle. I mean,
Or
Canada the counter all as one does when but they have the players to do it though. I mean, it was a they almost the thing is that Mexico got that lucky goal right before the end of the first half. If Canada goes in 0-0, they have to like their chances.
Yeah, Canada hasn't been bad. I felt like they could have definitely caught Mexico on a counter earlier.
Yeah, no, I like how we talked about it earlier. I know that our young Mr. Landeros,
yeah.
that every game is going to be a cakewalk, and then this one, uh, has been, I mean, certainly much more of a struggle than anything that Cuba was able to present, and obviously Martinique is going to be a little bit different, but Canada's, they have some players now. They have some players that can make a difference. It would not shock me if Mexico played Canada again in the semifinals. Honestly, wouldn't shock me at all. But I don't know if I'm going to make that prediction just yet.
See a Chivas flag there.
I see it.
Oh, Chivas! It's such a great novela. I mean,
See a Pumas one.
Oh yeah, I see it too now.
On Chicharo's goal against South Korea and Russia, one of the replays has the gigantic Puma in the background of it. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I don't think I saw any other team logos at all. I know the English fans do that a lot, though. They'll bring their English flag with the name of where they're from or the club that they support.
Yeah.
In fact, that's almost exclusively what they have. Canada moves the ball pretty well. They are.
They do. I mean, they have a lot of talent. They have a lot of young talent. If they weren't so nice, they might win.
Well, they weren't very nice tonight. They were.
think they'll invite him for some Tim Hortons after this?
He's got a pretty big, pretty big team. Height wise.
Go have some Molsons.
Some poutine.
I've never had poutine.
It's delicious.
You go to Canada like regularly, don't you? Do you go for your work?
No, but I've been, but I haven't been to Canada in a while. But I've had poutine before, and it's delicious.
I have
It's
been to
basic.
Montreal and Vancouver.
I went to Niagara Falls and Toronto. Niagara Falls is right here. Yeah. Oof. That was a golazo, me acuerdo. Golazo.
Yeah,
He hadn't scored one of those in a while.
I remember the first couple of games that he started playing in the right before the 06 World Cup, and but he used to just let them rip from even further back, and they were like lasers. They wouldn't move, like ropes. There was no spin on them at all. I was like, man, it was like, that's the one thing I always thought that Mexico could produce is just God, that it's a crazy good shot.
Yeah.
That was his early call to fame, right? At Atlas, and he scores 2 against America.
It was, yeah, from like 35 yards out.
Was it in the same match?
It was. I think you're absolutely right. I think it was just blasted him. And he had a really good one against Uruguay in the Copa America too. He was like 20 years old. That's when he had his what do we call that? A Jerry curl? Is that the look that he had back then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had that for a while.
He did.
It looked like Ochoa was in the field.
But it was a little more watered down. It was like he was the low water pressure version of Ochoa.
Oof.
Oh man, that is pretty funny. He's actually had really good Gold Cups, Guardado.
He has.
Because he scored the goal against the U.S. in 07 when Feilhaber got that volley off the corner and scored to win 2-1. Where Nettie had the exact same shot in the first half and put it like 6 inches over the bar. Nettie, the great Nettie Castillo. We remember him fondly here in the CantinaMX podcast for.
I definitely thought that he was going to be the savior.
For one summer, I mean, good Lord, how could anybody not just fall in love with?
Yeah, that was a golazo he scored against Brazil where he did 2 sombreritos.
Just unbelievable.
Went over Maicon, who was it, or the defender, and then the goalie coming out.
The goalie was Julio Cesar.
Both of them.
Ramosito's goal against Julio Cesar in that game was Julio Cesar was so mad that he got bamboozled on the shot.
Only to lose against him in the semifinals.
That was Argentina that they lost to.
Oh, that was Argentina? Was it Brazil?
Yeah. No, they played because Messi scored a
golazo on
the Vaselina on
Osvaldo. Did you guys watch the Messi interview on Fox Sport Argentina? He talks about
Pumas?
No, he talks about that goal though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they talk about his best goals, and he talks about how like that's one of them, and how every time he's played in Mexico, it's always a difficult game. It's pretty interesting.
At least he softened the blow a little bit,
Yeah.
He gave the respect. I remember in that World Cup where they went up 3-1 or what, just that with the terrible
the offside
goal, and then the unable to recover from it, Osorio gaff. When Messi did something on the field, and Rafa came in, just leveled him, just got a yellow for it, just wiped them out. And
as if they weren't teammates.
Exactly. I'm sure he'd been waiting to do that for 2 years, however long that he practiced where he couldn't do that. Just completely took him out.
Probably why he wasn't invited to the Rafa Marquez retirement game.
He didn't get invited.
No, there wasn't any other Barca guys there. I was surprised, except Mark Rosas. I think he was the only Barca guy that was there.
Oh, that is surprising.
Like not
And he-
Eto'o, not Puyol, none of those guys.
Wow.
Unless he's going to do another one, but that's the one they did in Guadalajara recently.
Well, he can't go anywhere else right now.
Yeah. Maybe everyone's too busy. But you would think you would have like Puyol, Xavi,
PK,
yeah,
Biscuits.
Iniesta, all those guys.
God, they were a great team. How amazing is it for Rafa Marquez to be
Part of that team. Not just
integral
any
part of
Barcelona
it. Yeah.
team, but like that team.
Yeah, exactly. You know, one of the reasons they were able to do what they did was because of those guys.
Yeah. Oh, hook 'em.
Hook 'em like hook 'em horns. Did you see
Yeah.
a Texas?
I think
That was a Texas reference.
What happened, Hoyle?
I'm pretty much. I think this Mexico has it in the bag. 2 minutes
Oh, yeah.
left.
You're calling it.
Yeah.
The update has come in from the decision desk. Joel Aceves has called it 3-1 for Mexico. Canada's showing a lot more, I think, than any of us were expecting. So, and good for you. I mean, they need, you know, hopefully they can make the hex.
No. Yeah. They're a team that's like
They're on the up.
they're in the up and they're facing a Mexico team that's already, has some of the players on the field. They're very well experienced.
Yeah, no, Canada's played. They had definitely acquitted themselves very, very, very well tonight. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that they have a couple of reserves on the field too. So this isn't like quote unquote like they're.
No, yeah. If you take away Mexico's experienced players, and then if they had like just more young guys, I bet this would be a much tougher game. But that's what happens when you have a Guardado, even like Ochoa in the back, helping that shaky defense. Coordinated. It makes a big difference at the end of the day.
So I said that could be a role, Joel, that Oribe Peralta could play for
Yes, see, we always bring it back.
Chivas.
Continue. Yeah, I do think. And I mean, you guys are saying he took trophies to. He had
He's already starting to set him straight. He's like,
he
man,
had a dinner with him.
yeah.
I guess he's like, hey man, I came here to win. Where's your head at?
Let me ask you
What's
this.
with you?
Let me ask you this, Joel. Who do you think won the battle? Did La Chofis leave thinking, man, I have a really good opportunity to do really well here with Chivas and Oribe? Or did Oribe walk out going, man, I am really looking forward to the party tonight over at Chofis' pool?
I can't wait. I'm gonna have some killer snaps.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think it's the other way around because we said it in one of the previous pods how both trophies and like Pulido, they're players that should be higher up in the Liga MX. They should be like even selección, considered for the national team, and no, there's really no demand from them. It's almost none from other teams that they don't want to touch those guys. They see them as toxic, and it's not for lack of talent. So they're seeing it like we're kind of pissing it off. We're wasting it away here, and we can't be playing and the team not qualifying and thinking that our value is not going to go down. So I do think they see that in a positive light, having this guy right here. That's just how he's professional, I would say.
Now, Rigo, before we go here, you are a new father. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have
Yeah,
your daughter.
congrats.
So I would have to ask you, as a new dad, obviously, she's what, 3 months old? Is that 4?
Yeah, she's 3 months old. She's gonna be 3 months on Friday.
So she's not talking yet.
No.
Not talking yet. But when she does start talking, would you as a dad would you, as a dad, be upset if these were her first words?
Que chingüe a su madre en America.
Not at all. Not at all. I would encourage it.
That's interesting. So
I
you said
would.
that
I would
she's on the
encourage it.
right path. She's on the right path from.
She already has like 3 Chivas jerseys,
Uh-huh.
and so I'm gonna set her down the path of disappointment
Now, do
early.
you get her like classic Chivas or just like whatever the that.
Whatever onesie we could find.
So there,
That,
there are there are Chivas onesies.
yeah, I got her a Cheech one too, one from the Mexico national team. So you know the remember the white jersey that came out during the World Cup with the stripes,
Oh yeah,
the little Gucci look.
that is
She has one of those. She's got the green one, and she's got like 3 Chivas kits. And then from Paraguay, because she's half Paraguayan, she
Right.
has
Another Chivas shirt from Paraguay.
she has she has a Club Olimpia shirt.
right.
No, no, but you know the selecciones. Somos
Now, does
Yeah.
she have the comunica? Now, if you could find a comunicaciones onesie,
No, she does not have one of those.
but that would be pretty cool.
But I'm working on that.
Yeah, that could take some digging. You might have to. Yeah, that one could be hard. But I think achievable.
No, yeah, you could definitely get one.
That well, anyway, congratulations
Thank you.
on that. Well, gentlemen, so the game's over. Mexico wins 3-1. They have officially clinched the group. Although
there's one game to spare.
I suppose Martinique could beat them.
I hope we see a couple of some. I'm sure we will see some changes in the lineup.
Some
Some
rotaciones.
rotaciones.
You're
Yeah.
missing the.
Yeah.
Rotaciones are okay because he's from Argentina. If you're doing
Yeah.
rotaciones and you're from Colombia, then people are going to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
No,
you're from
but
Argentina, so it's okay.
No, I'd like to see some of the other guys that went, like Vega. Who else? I mean, Pizarro if he's healthy.
Right.
A little bit more Montes. I don't know about Hector Moreno. I'm not really. I'd like to see who's the other goalie he took.
Jonathan Orozco.
I don't want to see him.
Ouch. Ouch. Rigo Ayala bringing the.
I'm nothing against him. I'm just not a fan.
He's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, Ochoa. I mean, as didn't Tata say that Ochoa was also cemented in the lineup?
Yeah.
did.
Well,
Inamovible.
he did say that him and his staff preferred Orozco because he plays better with his feet, but that because of the hierarchy, Ochoa was going to be starting. I would like to see more of Charlie.
Honestly, how on earth can you make a decision about your goalkeeper based on I don't like the way that he plays with his feet when he. I mean, seriously.
I mean, that's what what's it called would do. Osorio.
Right.
Remember, he would play Corona sometimes because he was better in the air. Or I think Corona was the one that played better with his feet too.
Right. Yeah, it's just. I mean, come on.
Who's Fernando Navarro?
That's like not playing a wide receiver because he doesn't block, defensive ends very well. Come on. I mean, it's such a small part of the game. But anyway.
But I'm getting out of here, guys.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for us to wrap up here our special edition.
I'll try and be on Sunday.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be late because I'll be back. It'll probably be a little bit more post game. Excuse me, post game, but I will try and get as much sound as I can.
Oh, that's right. You're going to be at the game. Well, enjoy Charlotte. Have some barbecue.
Is that what I can eat in Charlotte? Because I've been trying to figure it out.
Barbecue.
Yeah, but I'm from Texas, man. There's
Yeah, but it's different.
Nothing.
It's different.
Exactly. It's different. Why? if you drove a Mercedes, would say, hey, here's a 1994 Hyundai.
No, it's not that big of a difference. I'd be like, it's more like a BMW.
Oh, stop. Actually, I've never had Carolina barbecue. See, I'd say in Texas barbecues is more beef.
I
More
think,
beef.
I think they're more pork, right?
They're more pork. So, but I mean, I could certainly. I mean, I'm not averse to trying a few ribs because I
There's
do.
Bojangles. I don't know if you guys have Bojangles in Texas, do you?
No, like I said, we have Texas barbecue.
Bojangles is a fried chicken place.
No, we don't have Bojangles. We have
Oh.
Zaxby's and we have.
I know you gotta go. You gotta go to Bojangles and get the Cajun fillet biscuit.
Well, we have Popeyes. So
No, not the same.
well, I mean, it is Cajun.
Yes. I think that's pretty much all I know about Charlotte. I thought about going to that game too, but it just didn't work out.
I've been to Charlotte before. I mean, the city is really cool, and I'm actually
Yeah.
the city. I wish I could get there the day before, but I have a.
You're going just for the day?
Yeah, I'm going to go up, leaving. I mean, I don't know. I can't even tell you how early my flight is Sunday morning. I might have to get up at 2:30 here at the house to make, because I live a ways away from the airport. So it leaves at 5 a.m. That's just, it is like ungodly to leave at 5
Jesus.
a.m. Yeah. So on flights that early, I get a window seat, and
Enjoy the view.
for about the first 3 minutes, and then hopefully enjoy the view of the last 3 minutes. Because hopefully I'll sleep. That is.
Well, have a safe flight and enjoy Charlotte.
Thank you, sir. And we will talk after that. If not, then we'll try and get going after one of the or during one of the quarterfinals as well. So
Yes.
But
Alrighty,
thank you very
guys.
much, Rodrigo.
Thank you guys. All right, later, Joel.
Late.
Joel Aceves, a good spot for us to wrap it up here tonight.
Yes, sir. We will.
So I think we can just gut reaction. Not Mexico's best performance. Again, they had some slip ups, some stuff that but easily correctable stuff. So it's not like they're like not playing well. I mean, they're still playing well. They just were a little sloppier tonight than.
And still scoring.
When
Yeah, he needs to work on the defense. But yeah, well, it's I would say the three toughest opponents that they could face: Canada, Costa Rica, and the U.S. Can they still face the other two? John, I'm not sure how the bracket looks.
Yeah. So what's going to happen, Joel, is that Costa Rica is on this side of the bracket. So if they end up winning their group, which they probably will, then they'll play Canada. So and then the winner of that game would play Mexico, because Mexico's going to get like Haiti or Bermuda or Nicaragua.
Yeah.
That's who Mexico's getting. So Mexico will win that game. So they're going to play either Canada or Costa Rica in the semifinals. And I'm not so sure if I were Mexico, I would want to see Canada again. I think I would rather play Costa Rica, not because they can't beat Canada, but because it's very difficult to beat a team twice in the same turn, especially so few games apart.
Yeah. No, but I still feel like looking at all the squads, Mexico has the most well balanced team.
They do. I mean, they certainly.
And the best coach. What more do you want?
Yeah, by far. Yeah.
So
Although,
I mean,
I think that the second best coach in the region right now would be Matosas down in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is perfect for him. Perfect.
mm-hmm.
Matosas is like a Leon of national teams.
And he'll know the Mexican players.
Right. Oof. Tata Martino dropped the ball. Well, anyway, Joel, we'll do this again on Sunday. Of course, it'll be a lot easier for you because you'll be 3 hours behind me. But
yes.
yeah, so hopefully we'll get some sound up from the game show. But thank you all everyone for listening here on the CantinaMX podcast. We will do this again Sunday night, like we mentioned. for Mexico's third game against Charlotte. Had a lot of fun that It was it all worked out very well.
Yes, it did, sir. Yes, it did.
We will talk to you guys hopefully on Sunday night. My name is John Jagu for Juega Seves and Jaime Landeros and Arrigo Ayala. This is John Jagu saying good night here on the CantinaMX podcast. Talk to you all later.